So on to our last question of June 2023 Rchrp 10 past paper. So question 6A says, contemporary organizations have increasingly adopted a variety of performance management systems. Explain the reasons that may account for this trend. So the question is simply looking for the reasons as to why organizations are putting in place performance management systems. So the main reason is basically because these organizations want to manage performance. And remember, it is through management of performance that you can be able to improve in terms of performance, in terms of productivity, in terms of profits, and all the endeavors that the organization is looking forward to reach at. So most organizations are making sure that they have these management systems in place because they want to regulate how the workers are working in relation to performance. They want to instill desired behavior within the employees and the organization so that they can always perform, so that they can always meet up with the targets in order for the organization to improve in performance and in terms of productivity. So the main reasons that the organization will embrace such management systems within the organizations or within different organizations could be, number one, to improve productivity. It's only through performance management system you can be able to improve productivity, because the performance management systems will help you know whether a person is performing or not, whether a person is contributing in terms of being productive or not, so that you can take corrective actions. When you get to see that the performance of someone is not basically up to task, you can be able to identify the weaknesses. You can be able to identify the challenges that this person goes through, or what is it that makes this person not to meet up with the goals or with the targets that basically put in place. And that will always help you to correct whatever it is that this person could be going through in order for him to improve in terms of being productive. So through performance management system, you can always do whatever it takes to ensure that your employees will be productive in one way or the other. Another thing that performance management systems can help you do is basically to improve not only the productivity of your employees, but also the performance of your employees. Your employees can also become performers because you'll be able to identify their challenges, you'll be able to identify their mistakes, their weaknesses, and work on them. The moment you work on the weaknesses and the challenges these employees are going through, you are preparing them for another task. So whenever they are exposed to their different roles and responsibilities, you'll get to see them improving in terms of performance. So performance management system will always help you to improve the performance of your employees. That is number 2. And then you have number 3, identifying potential risks, of which this is in connection to what I've just explained. Through performance management systems, you'll be able to know the risks, the challenges, the weaknesses, and anything that acts as a threat to the performance of the employee, so that you can basically work on it and eliminate it, so that this person can become productive, so that this person can become a performer. So through performance management systems, the organization can be able to identify any kind of risk, threat, challenge, weakness, name them, that maybe the employee faces when he or she is delivering his roles and duties, that is making him or her not to perform. And the organization will be able to sort it out so that things run as usual and this person becomes a regular performer as usual. And then also fostering manager and employee relationships. Yes, performance management systems have basically been proved to increase on the level of relationship that is there between the employees and the employers, because you cannot measure the performance of the employer if you cannot bond with them, if you cannot coordinate with them, if you cannot collaborate with them. So you will need to work together in order for the performance to be evaluated, to be assessed, and corrective actions to be put in place. And this process will basically bring about employer manager or employer employee relationship. So the reason as to why also organizations are embracing performance management systems is basically because they will wish to ensure that good relationship exists between the managers and the employees. And then lastly, we can talk of to create development and training strategies. Yes, once you've identified the potential risks that we've mentioned above, once you've identified the threats, the mistakes, the challenges, the weaknesses that are there, you'll be able to know who needs training, who doesn't need training. so that you plan yourself now in terms of giving all the training. So for those people who are not performing, or for those people who are having issues, basically you take them for training so that they can increase on their knowledge, they can increase on their abilities, they can increase on their skills, and name it, so that once they come back to the workplace, they'll be able to deliver and perform. So through performance management systems, you'll be guided on what kind of development and training strategies to put in place. So that is number 6A. Then we have number 6B. You have been tasked to prepare a presentation to staff on the contribution of a balanced scorecard to the organizational performance. Outline the content of your presentation. So a balanced scorecard is a performance management tool. It is a tool that is also used to manage performance. And mostly a balanced scorecard will basically help you to translate strategies, organizational strategies into achievable objectives, so that people can become more focused, so that people can become more determined when it comes to performing and achieving the goals and the objectives of the organization. So what contribution does balanced scorecard has towards the organization? Number one, it will always bring the effect of improved strategic planning process. Remember, we've said that scorecard normally has organizational strategies that are translated into achievable and measurable goals and objectives of the company. So because of that, you'll have improved strategic planning process. You'll know what is expected of you. You'll know what you're supposed to do in order for you to reach whatever the organization wants to reach. So through using a balanced scorecard, you'll be able to understand the strategies. At the same time, you'll be able to understand the goals that you need to achieve at the end of that working period. Number 2, improvement in organization performance reporting. Yes, a balanced scorecard is a tool that will help you know your position as an organization. You'll be able to tell whether you're moving on the right direction or basically not. Because remember, we said it's a scorecard. It shows where you are, it shows what you are doing, and basically it shows how much you have done, so that you can gauge whether things are moving in the right way or not. So having a balanced scorecard will always help you to improve in terms of performance reporting. You'll know where you are, where you stand as an organization. You'll know what you need to do so that you can reach where you want to reach, and you'll know what to eliminate so that you can be able to move in the right way possible. Number 3, a balanced scorecard can also help you to align your strategies plus the objectives. Remember, we said some of the objectives you have are normally derived from the balanced scorecard. So because of such a process, you get to see that a balanced scorecard helps you to have an alignment with the strategies of the organization and the objectives that the organization aims at achieving. So there's that uniformity, or there's that sort of alignment that basically everyone understands what is expected of him or her as far as the strategies and objectives of the company is concerned. People will have a common way of doing things. People will move in the same direction. People will have the same mindset up, and that will make them to become more successful in terms of delivering the different roles and responsibilities that everyone is allocated. And then also having a balanced scorecard will always have a data-driven decision making. You will not be making decisions just laymanly. You'll not be making decisions just like that, but now you'll have some sort of reference because you have that scorecard that is there in the organization. It tells you where you are. It tells you the direction you are heading. You'll be able to tell whether people are doing things in the right way or not. And the moment you have all this information, then making decisions becomes very easy. The probability of you making efficient decisions will always be high, just because you are making informed and concrete decision, because you have all the data, or you have whatever it takes in order for you to come up with the decision. And then lastly, we have number 5, which greater organizational coordination, because this scorecard is here to basically show you the way to go. Not only the management, but also the people who work below in the low level of management. Everyone will have the expected targets that is supposed to meet. Everyone will be able to know what are some of the strategies that the organization is looking into, what are some of the goals that you are looking forward to achieve, and that is why you'll be moving in the same direction, or you always have the common objective in order for everyone to ensure that it is met and achieved in the end, of which that can also be very important when it comes to realization of the performance and productivity of the organization. So that is it, and that is the end of our June 2023 past paper. Thank you. Let's meet in another revision session.